Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain the details about getting through your project. Now, just remember, this project overall is you proving that point using your statistical knowledge that I have taught you. All right. So the objective, what is expected, and how to do your project. I know some of you guys are wondering about your data, but just haven't quite got started on it yet. All right, your objective. Why you do this? All right, so you are going to be going to English 4 next year. So in your senior year of high school, your English is the hardest course because there's some intensive writing going on. So that's a reason why. Also, to give you a taste of college and upper management. So, if you're not even going to go to college, but when you get up to those leadership positions, you have to learn how to, write a certain way. All right? How to argue eloquently. That is the main purpose of why I want you to do this. I want you to argue eloquently. In statistics, that's what we do. We argue and we make our points clear and we make recommendations. Now, I know we like to argue a lot, but one thing that you guys lack, you don't know how to do it eloquently or statistically, as we call it. Also, help you to showcase your statistical skill because you want to be able to talk and bring it to a certain way, you know? The way that we talk to make a point across, it does not work. We cannot come across like this anymore, especially if we want to be recognized as someone superior. It's not going to work. So that's why we're doing this. And to let you know, in every statistics course, you have to do something of this caliber. So if you're not really feeling the kind of ELA vibe that I'm giving you, you may want to consider taking advanced math. Reminder, every last one of you guys have to do it despite exemptions. It doesn't matter what score you got on the ACT, you got to do it. I am expecting you to have specific amount done by specific deadlines when we start doing virtual. So next week, um, I'll probably ask for a certain amount of pages to be done by a certain deadline when we go virtual. All right. So I'm doing this to make sure that you stay on pace and you don't wait last minute just to get started. If you do not have the technology, you have to find a way to get it done. You're doing this in Google Docs. You is not right turning in a sheet of paper that you handwritten. We're not doing that. There's libraries you could go to. There's someone in your family has access to technology. And plus, you will have time, not much of it, to do it in class. All right? This project is the one out of the few things you're going to be doing for the remaining of the school year. My exempt people who are exempt, this is pretty much your last grade going in. All right? And again, if you fall on the 80% C, 80, if you got less than 80% C, you're not exempt despite your ACT scores. And also, if you don't have a copy of your ACT scores, I definitely can vouch for it. All right, expectations, directions. I'm gonna give you some clear details in case the directions is not understood. All right, what am I expecting for you to do? Perform descriptive statistics, perform inferential statistics, produce graphs with labels, parent function knowledge, apply the precise definition of statistics, apply this precise definition of mathematics, statistical facts. 10. Complete pages, double space, number font. No big bold letters. That's not gonna work. You're gonna write an essay. You know how to write an essay, so don't even act like you never written one before. You try it, you know I'm gonna fail you regardless. And this is written in third person. Expectations. This is solo. Y'all not doing no group work. If I hear it, that's a problem. You're gonna get 0 up front. That's not happening at all. You will spend plenty of time doing this virtual. So when you're at home at the house, I'm not assigning anything. Rarely. I probably assign maybe one thing, but this is the bulk of what you're gonna be doing. And after we get back from testing, you're gonna have 30 minutes, a little bit of time to get things situated. Again, you got all next week, get your stuff together. Academic dishonesty is not tolerated at any caliber. Turn in what I ask you at any point. So again, it is to your detriment to not do anything when I ask you to do it. So when I ask you, say, have 2 pages done by a certain deadline, that's what I want to see. I don't care for the accuracy of it, I just want to see it get done. But the overall finished product, I am looking for accuracy. Do not copy and paste from Google. Guards should not be no longer than 3.5 inches width and length. And you guys know what that means. So I will have a ruler, and when you get your pictures, I'm pretty much eyeballing them. If your graphs are not from Desmos, don't use them. Your graphs have to be from Desmos. Do not copy from others. Do not work together. Please do not be non-compliant. Do not turn this in late, because you turn this in late, you don't have time to, you know, get anything else out of it. How I do this, how to get through these 10 pages. So your introduction, that's talking about what you know, making your point, and argument. So these two things, introduction and argument, you could actually do this in 1 page. The body is just you talking about the data. So you're going to put the table in your Google Doc, and then you're just going to talk about the data from what you see without using no statistical analysis through Desmos at all. Your methodology, which is going to be a bulk of your work, because you're going to talk about the parent functions that you will be looking at. You're going to be talking about, their characteristics. You're going to be talking about all the descriptive statistics, everything that was taught to you, outliers, everything that was taught, you're going to be replicating that in detail. So all the stuff we did, first to third 9 weeks on these parent functions, discuss those other discuss those characteristics. There are the statistical stuff. And then your conclusions, the recommendations. So again, you're just trying to prove a point, which is in your objective. And then you're going to use the data to back up your point. All right, the introduction. So you're going to discuss known information about your topic that you selected. For example, if you talking about baseball bats, number of baseball bats being sold from 2020 to 2023, you know that baseball itself is known as American pastime. You know baseballs are used in the sport of baseball. And you also know that sometimes a baseball bat can be used as a weapon to defend yourself. These are things that you know off the bat. Again, I gave you all data, and you select the data that you have some knowledge of. Now, next, you discuss the statistics you research. Like, for example, I know that baseball sales have decreased throughout throughout the 2020 so far. I also know that that Louisville Slugger is the brand baseball bat. It has been around since 1920. And I know that they killed 1.3 million trees in Montana to create baseball bats. You see how I gave you numbers in those statements? That is what you have to do from there. And that is called the research. And also your statistical fact. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is they should stop making baseball bats. So that's the point. And I'm going to use this I'm going to prove my point by applying what was taught through statistics. And those things that we covered, those are the things I will be talking about. Notice I have not used the word I feel, you feel, this, that, and that. I now use the words I know. You cannot use even that. Yes, wrong class. But that's just that. All right, so body one is just the data. You put in the table in, and I'm gonna have video on that in case you forgot, in case you don't know. I'm gonna show it to you, and you just gonna do it from there, and just discuss the statistics behind. Not discuss the statistics. Do not discuss the statistics. All right. Do not, do not discuss the statistics yet. You just look at the numbers from the table. You're like, okay, I see that this number is big at this time. I see where it got small at this time. Okay, I see it went up by one, two, three. Whatever your data is saying, that's what you are going to talk about. All right. The methodology. This is when it's going to take up a lot, a lot of stuff. So there, this is when you put your graphs up from Desmos and describe what the graphs come from. You say, oh, they're from Desmos. Then either you input them into Google Doc and talk about them. Cool. Don't forget about label and important graphs. So I basically saying the same thing twice right here. So I told you about label and important graphs. This is pretty much just what I said earlier. Perform central tendency and dispersion. Talk about your correlation coefficient using your parent function models. Discuss correlation accurately. Create models based on the highest R value. And of course, make those discussions and make 5 predictions. Okay? All right, so listen up. These are the models that you are going to be dealing with. These are your models. So like I told you before throughout class, you going to be doing more than just linear, quadratic, and exponential. These are the models that you're going to be dealing with. And these are functions that we have covered throughout the school year. All right. So after you have discussed everything, showcased everything that was taught to you, you're going to reinstate your point. Because by then, you should be able to state your point and you should be good to go. Make recommendations based off your data. So you know how we always like to talk stuff, be like, bah, 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 bah. Well, based on your data, now you can make those recommendations based off your data. All right, so questions and help. Because I want you to really, really do the best you can on this, because the one thing that's going to make this project hard is me taking my hands off. I'm not telling you anything because it's already been taught to you. And all you have to do is really just apply what is being taught to you. Okay? So know this. Videos have been posted and more is going to be posted along the way. Get your parent function cheat sheet and know those characteristics. Get the complete sheets that we have did so far. I'm not holding your hand through this, and there's a lot of questions I won't be answering. So you should not be fixing your face and saying, "Oh, I want to do this in decimals and how to do this." Don't ask me. I'm gonna look at you and say, "I don't know, baby." I will not tell you if your stuff is correct or incorrect because this is you showing off what you know, and you should know a lot. Now, if you was a class who was acting crazy as I was explaining this to you, guess what? I'm not helping you. The checklist of items. This is what I need for you guys to go through your checklist and do. And I will, listen up, update when I need to update. So if I gotta send an update, I'll let you know. All right? So here's a checklist of things. You discuss in detail about prior knowledge of the data set. Like the thing about baseball bats. Then you discuss the research knowledge of the data set using statistical statements. Y'all, please write complete good sentences. Don't give me basic nonsense. I will be updating and letting you know about how I'm looking you in terms of your ELA. Don't make it a mess. All right? You must state your objective, the point that you're trying to prove. You're trying to make a point, and you got to discuss how you're going to prove it by which I have taught you. You're going to input data in Google Docs. You're going to discuss the data set from observing the data. You're going to perform descriptive statistics. And then you're going to input your box plots and discuss usage of it. Students would input graphs from Desmos to Google Doc. And also, with every graph, you're going to discuss their usage. For every graph, you're going to discuss their usage. For every graph, you're going to discuss their usage. All right? You are obviously going to input Desmos in the Google Docs. You're going to perform all inferential statistics. You're going to discuss all the models that I have shown you in this video mathematically. You're going to demonstrate all knowledge taught in class and from the video and project. Students must use data set well. You have to use it well to prove your point. Student must make recommendations. All right. And of course, this is how you do your project. Now, I know going back to the pages I have labeled, because there was a little template of how you should break up your 10 pages. If I were you, don't pay attention. Do not pay attention to the number of pages for each session because your intro and your objective that could be tied into one page. And your methodology and your data, that's going to be really the bulk of your work. All right.